Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 2nd, presented by Mercury. Hey, we're going to connect with Tom Ott for Guntersville. We caught up with Lee Pitts talking about Neely Weiss Lake right before the Coosa Landing big city tournament there on Saturday. And we're going to connect with Justin Elliott and talk Logan Martin and Lay Lake. We'll be right back with what the guys have to say to help you put a few more fish in your boat. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 2nd, presented by Mercury. Time for us to connect with our friend and pro staffer, Justin Elliott. We're going to talk Logan Martin and Lay Lake. You know, Justin, Coosa River Team Trail last week, Logan Martin, I fished it. I stunk, found something, and then the water level fell out a little bit, and I just couldn't put it back together. But I'm sure you know what's been going on down there and at Lay Lake. Tell me a little bit about what's happening on those bodies of water.
So I'll jump on the same boat as you, Dano. I fished it the weekend before you did, and I sucked. I'm not gonna lie. Caught a ton of fish, had a blast catching them, had a really good time catching them. The fish I had found, kind of like you, the water kind of messed me up. I had some good fish found. I was running the typical thing you would do this time of year: secondary points to the backs of pockets. You know, the key for me was finding that clean water. I found a bunch of clean water, but the water dropped on me just like it did on you, and my fish were gone. I don't know if they pulled back out to the river or what happened there, but what I ended up scrambling and finding was I ran brush piles from Rabbit Branch all the way back up to Riverside, and every brush pile I pulled up on, I caught fish out of. Now, granted, I had 5 fish for 8 pounds. Never got a bigger bite than that. I caught 70 fish in the day. But, you know, if I'm going back tomorrow, I'm going to run those secondary points again and let the fish prove me wrong that they're not there. This time of the year, those fish should be stacked on those secondary points. You can catch them on crankbaits, you know, a jerk bait you can catch them on, Alabama rig. Probably my favorite way to catch them right now is on a single swim bait on light line. I've had really good success with that this spring down on Logan.
Turn our attention to Lay Lake. What are you seeing out of Lay these days?
If I'm going to Lay tomorrow, you know, I'm stubborn. I've got a little bit of West Logan in me. I want those fish to be in the grass, and I'm gonna go make them again, prove me wrong that they're not there. But same thing on Lay. You can go run secondary points and catch a pile of fish right now. Those fish are wanting to get to the back of those pockets. They're wanting to get on bed. The water temp is where it's supposed to be for them to be on a bed. So those fish are pushing to the back. You know, it won't be long before we can do mine and your favorite thing to do, and that's go put the raptors or the power poles down and flip at them and see them eat it. I'm just praying that this rain holds off long enough for me to get an opportunity this year to flip to a few of them while I can see them.
Well, I think there's a little bit of spawn going on. You're not going to be able to see much of it. The watercolor's dirty. You're looking at water temperatures in that low 60s, maybe mid 60s in some of the backs of the pockets. But watch your water levels, folks. You'll be able to put a few fish in the boat, but just got to watch those water levels.
The water level's key. The water temperature's key. You know, no matter where I'm at right now, I'm throwing a spook. You know, it's that time of the year where those big spots will just come up. They want to knock the paint off a spook right now. I don't know why they hate it so much, but I love that they hate it. It's so much fun to catch them.
Well, dude, Justin, we appreciate everything. Thanks for the help, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Y'all have a good one. I appreciate y'all, Dano.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 2nd, presented by Mercury. Time for us to head on up to that big lake in the sky. Our favorite person on that Tennessee River puddle, Tom Ott. Tom, what's happening up there at Guntersville?
Man, Dano, we're in full swing right now. We talked a little bit last week. You know, the water was dropping. Big bass splash was there. It didn't seem to affect the fish really. You know, it showed out for the splash. But the water did drop a couple of feet, and I don't know if it was anticipation of rain, if they're still jacking with it from Tennessee Valley. I don't really know, but it obviously affects the fish. But I'm telling you, they're really committed. They want to be in that spawn zone, and I tell folks all the time, these fish spawn. They don't all spawn at the same time. They don't all spawn on the bank. They don't all spawn in shallow water. But that's definitely what they're the majority of the fish are doing right now. And, it's just a lot of fun. I mean, you can go out, and if you get in the right stretch, I mean, a 1/4 ounce trap, can really put some fish in the boat right now. Your chatterbaits, any kind of soft plastic are really starting to really pick up a lot of bites. I tell you, a good piece of advice right now is if you think it's kind of silly, just go do it and try it anyway, because you'll probably get bit and you might catch a big one. You never can tell. But there's just so much going on. The crappie are hitting. I caught a 50-pound catfish the other day on a swim bait. So if that tells you, I mean, everything's getting frisky.
So what kind of water temperatures are you looking at, and what kind of visibility are you seeing on the lake?
We really didn't get as muddy as I thought it would with the rain. The wind probably dirtied it up a little bit, but I mean, you can still see anywhere between 10 inches to 18 inches. I mean, it's pretty good. It's got a nice stain to it, but I kind of call it a Coosa stain. You get a stain, but it's still clear. And that's kind of what we've been seeing. Natural colors are working really well. But those fish are definitely making that push for sure.
So are you seeing main river type things with current seams and current breaks, or are you starting to move into those pockets?
I've been fishing up in the pockets. When we had that water drop, I kind of think everybody overthinks it a little bit. But what I started doing was just fishing those points that were leading into those spawning bays. And there the fish were. I mean, they just kind of pulled a little bit, but they weren't going anywhere. It's a good place to always find some post-spawners, some pre-spawners, but those fish are really trying to get in those bays right now. There's quite a few that are going to spawn on the river channel. We haven't had that much current. The eelgrass is pretty thick in spots, can spawn out there and live their lives out there.
Tom, as always, man, we appreciate everything. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 2nd, presented by Mercury. Lee, let's start with Neely Henry right now since the big tournament's there. What's going on Neely?
I think everybody's catching fish right now. It's just going to be trying to get that one or two good largemouth bite. A lot of the guys, they're staying shallow, and we got plenty of current coming through right now. So it'll be interesting to see how many boats go up and how many stay main lake, because I think some of the guys that if they go up with that current and they can get some of their spots, the spotted bass are eating up that river right now. More your largemouth are being caught down in some of the back creeks. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens.
Are you talking main river current type stuff, or are they going to be in the pockets, or is a guy going to have to do both?
I think you're going to have to make your mind up. Some of these guys that go up, they're going to fish that main river, the mouse, and trying to get that big spot bite. I think the guys that are going largemouth fish, they're going to be in the back of the pockets, getting up shallow, finding maybe some rock or some hard bottoms with the fish getting ready to get back there to spawn. So it's going to be, I think you're going to have to kind of choose what you're going to do beforehand and just roll with it. I don't think you're going to, with a largemouth, it may be a more mid-morning, late afternoon thing. We got a little cold front here coming in, and I think it's going to be one of those deals. Those big females are getting up there close, so it's going to be, if the largemouth show up, it'll be downriver. If those guys are catching them big magnum spots in that current, it's going to be up that river.
All right, in the last minute, let's talk about Weiss Lake. I know that's where you live and where you spend your time. What's going on up there?
The bass bite is getting better. I'll talk about the bass first. I had a good buddy of mine, they fished this week the Brushy Branch tournament at Tuesday. It's the evening tournament. And his son, he caught a 8 1/4 up there. So the largemouth are starting to turn on. He was boasting and bragging, showed me some pictures of it. So Adam, he caught him a big 8 1/4 up there. They won the Brushy tournament. Fish limit was 17 pounds. So, the bass are starting to turn on up here at Weiss.
Crappie still kind of offshore, hiding behind stuff, and you're going to long line for them?
Yeah, and it's been, once again, this midweek, we had that little weather system come through again. It's just kind of holding these fish out there. You get a couple of days with some sunshine, they jump up there in that shallower water, but most of them are still holding in the bays. Swap colors a little bit this week with my Bobby Garlands, more of like a Cajun cricket, something with a little bit brighter color to it. Still that blue chartreuse. So it's just kind of mixing some colors up and finding what they want to smack on right now.
All right, Lee, we appreciate everything. Thanks for your time, and we will see you this weekend, I'm sure. Well, that'll do it for our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 2nd, presented by Mercury. New feature coming to Bucks Island this month. Technique Thursday, April the 14th. We're going to have Wes Logan in here talking about swim jig fishing, 5 to 6 p.m. on Thursday, April the 14th. Stay tuned for a little bit more information, but we might even be able to give you guys a little bit of a discount there in the loft. So come see us Thursday, April the 14th. Otherwise, come see our sales staff in parts for boats, and in the loft. And then if you need service, don't forget to see Angela and Misty downstairs. Thanks for spending the time with us, and we will talk to you again next week.